Hi, my name is Carmen Jones, and I'm the Southwest Regional Coordinator for the Indigenous Sport and Wellness Ontario. And I want to thank you again for joining us for the Double Eagle Virtual Online Golf Program Winter Edition. And first of all, I want to congratulate all of the winners from last week. Thank you so much for your submissions. Great job, and keep on submitting every week. And you can be entered into the draw. And don't forget about our grand prize draw at the end of the program, which will be at the end of the month. So thanks for supporting the program, and thanks for participating. Now this week, we're gonna be focusing on chipping, okay? Chipping is kind of a tough thing to do right when we're getting back in to the game of golf, and especially over winter. And one of the easiest things to do during winter because it requires such a small space. As you can see, we're indoors, and I've designed a couple of drills that we can do while we're indoors, and very similar to the ones that we did last week. So come and join me as we learn how to chip, and let's get started. Okay, much like last week, we're going to be working on our alignment for this drill, okay? And it's just simply hitting a chip shot and making sure that we're aligned. As you can see, when we're doing a chip shot, it's not like a full swing where feet shoulder width apart. What you want to do is you want to have your feet close together, just like so. And as you can see, my feet are pointed almost this way, and my hips are pointed almost this way. And what we want to do is we want to do a little bit more of an open stance, is what it's called, okay? For our alignment, because the most important thing for this shot is our club path. So what I did for that is just like last week, is I put a club on the ground, and what I'm doing with this club is I'm making sure that I am bringing my club along that line and bringing my hands out towards the target. That's what you want to do for every one of these shots when we're doing a full swing, when we're putting, when we're pitching, and when we're chipping. We want to make sure that our hands are going out to the target, okay? So for this drill, you're just going to need a club. Make sure that you're hitting on some rug, if you're able to. Very hard to hit off the hard floor, so I put a rug down. Make sure that we have a target. I put this little Mr. Donut here. He's got a hole in the center, so it's perfect. So I'm going to be aiming for that. And I have 3 golf balls, okay? I put a little line on these golf balls because when I hit them, I can actually see when they're spinning and see what kind of spin they're doing. So that's what we want to do. So for the chip shot, we want our feet a little bit more open. We want our shoulders kind of in line with this club here. And we want our club face square. Our hands are going to be a little bit more forward, and we're going to hinge and then make sure that our club is going along that path, and I'm going right towards my target right there, right in the center of the hole. So that's what I want to do. So I'm going to remember that. And what I want to do is when I'm chipping is I want to stay down. I don't want to look up at it like this. I don't want to flick my wrists like this. I want to make sure that I'm bringing my club back and making contact with my hands that are ahead of the ball. Just like that. I hit the donut, but I didn't hit it in the center, but still put it down the line that I wanted to. And the last one, that was a little low. That was, oops, get that later. But that was a little low. Oh, came back. That one was a little low, but it worked out perfect. And that's what we want to do, is we want to make sure that, again, our hips are open and we're swinging down this line. We really do not want to use our wrists for this, but we want our hands going right to the target, just like that. Okay? Let's do the next drill. All right, so this is the second drill. I just wanted to let you know before we start that, again, as I've said in my other videos, that there's so many clubs that you can use for chipping. You can use a pitching wedge, you can use a sand wedge, This is a 54 degree. It says 56, but I have it bent to 54. And you can use a 60 degree wedge, which is what I'm going to be using in these videos, okay? So that's why you can see it goes so high, okay? And I'm not trying to lift the ball up. I'm actually kind of hitting down on it, making just a regular swing. And my weight is forward, and I just drop the club on it. And because of the loft that this club has, it actually lifts the ball up. So try not to scoop it. Like I said, using that motion to help the ball up. You don't need to help the ball up. You just need to drop the club on the back of the ball, just like that, okay? One thing too is we're gonna be doing some things to help us with our technique, with our the way that our bodies should be moving in these shots, okay? So one of the things that I know that I've struggled with is that for me, I was always pulling my chip shots, okay? So I'd be sitting like this, and then I'd be pulling, and my ball would go over that way. So that's what this drill is for. Just like last week, is that what we want to do is we're gonna grab this ball, and we're gonna get in our chipping stance. We're gonna put our lead hand on the top, and what we're gonna do is this is gonna get our hands going to the target, okay? I'm gonna show you what it should look like. So if we're chipping, I'm gonna throw my ball along this line here, the club. And I'm gonna throw it right at Mr. Donut. We're gonna call him Tim Horton, okay? This is Tim Horton. So we're gonna throw our ball at Tim Horton. Okay? Right at him, okay? So that means that my hands are going right to the target, okay? Now watch this. Okay, I stood up, I looked up, and I released the ball this way. So what does that mean? My hands are going to the left, okay? Same thing, that if my ball goes out to the right, my hands are going out to the right. So what we need to do is stay low, have our weight on our front foot, just like a chip shot, and down to the target, okay? As you can see, I'm still in the same posture. I'm not standing up, but my arms are just swinging right to the target. I'm not even looking at the ball or where it's going. I'm just making sure that I'm doing that. See how that ball went a little inside? That means that my hands went to the left a bit. So I need to go right down the target line. Perfect, just like that, okay? So when I do a couple of those, I can just grab my golf club again, and I still have that same feeling of where my hand should be, and right in the center of the hole. Hands right down the target line, okay? Let's do the next drill. For this drill, this is gonna be kind of a variation of doing one-handed chips, okay? So what we're gonna be doing, because sometimes one-handed chips, actually all the time, one-handed chips are hard, but so this is gonna be a little variation of it, okay? So what we're gonna be doing is getting in our chipping stance. We're gonna be using our one hand again, gripping it. We're gonna make sure that our club face is straight and pointed at the target here. And this is all we're gonna do, is we're gonna push this ball right down the target line, okay? And as you can see, that if I have my, again, if my hands are not doing the right thing, if I'm going and turning and pulling my chips, the ball is going to go that way. And if I do the same thing where my club face is open, it's going to go that way as well. So what we want to do is make sure that our club face is straight, our stance is open, and that we just bring it right down the line like that. As you can see, I'm not going like this, but I'm just pushing it. Very simple. That's all this drill is just pushing it. And when I start getting comfortable pushing it, then you can move to doing one-handed chips if you like, because it's the same motion, except for you're just bringing the club back and it's going down the line. It's going to go lower just because, you know, your hands are a little bit more forward in this. And then when you start getting more comfortable pushing, then you can still feel the same thing. And then right down the middle, right in the hole again. Because that's what we want to do, is we want to use our lead hand in this. We don't want to use our back hand as much. We want to use our lead hand, okay? So let's do the last drill. Okay, last drill. And so what you're going to need is you're going to need a tee for this drill. And try and get a long tee. The longer one, the longer the tee, the better. And what you're going to do is every one of your golf clubs has a hole in the end of the grip, just like that, okay? You're going to stick this tee right into that hole, just like so. And it's going to stick out like that, okay? Now, this is great for if we're doing chips, then this gives us feedback. So what feedback means is that if we're doing something wrong, this is going to tell us right away, okay? So if we're using our wrists, then it's going to be pointed right back at us, back over this way. And if we're hitting the ball, you know, the way it should be, this tee is going to be right in line with our arm, as you can see, right in line with the arm. So if we're using our wrist too much, it's going to be in line with my back arm. So we want to, our trail arm, our back arm, what we want to do is we want to make sure that our golf club is in line, and not only that, but the tee is in line with this arm, sorry. So if I'm making a good chip, the correct chip, the way it should be, see, it just pointed right back at me. Hit that one a little thin, but still, you can see it just went along the same line. So again, we'll keep this lined up, keep this club on the ground, make sure that we're swinging along it, and that was a little low. We try that one again, and make sure that we're dropping the club weight is forward, just like that, okay? So again, we want to make sure that there's a straight line with our club, just like this. We don't want this to happen, where it's pointing like this, because if you do that, it goes on the ground, okay? It skims across the ground, goes over the green, but we want to make sure we get some spin on it, get it airborne a bit, and just like that, nice and straight. Okay. Thanks again for joining us again this week. Again, my name is Carmen Jones. I'm the Southwest Regional Coordinator for the Indigenous Sport and Wellness Ontario. And thanks again for joining us, and really hope that these tips were helpful to you. Hopefully these skills were helpful, and hopefully that you're able to do them in your home. Remember, you can just grab anything. We used a basketball, we used a tee, and yeah, we just used some golf clubs. So you can use anything around the house. So hopefully that helps. Just want to say really quickly too that if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to put them on this video, because I will be answering them every Wednesday. So don't be afraid to ask questions. You can ask any question you like about the drills, or just any questions in general. And I just really want to help. So have a great week. Post some good videos, post some good pictures of you doing the skills that we just learned, and I'll see you next week.